Well, welcome back to our next video in project management for Project Plus. And we're on domain 4, Basics of IT and Governance, which is 18% of the exam. We're on specific item 4.4, Summarize Basic IT Concepts Relevant to IT Project Management. So if we look at the Project Plus exam objectives, we're on 4.4 right here. Cool. I'll link to this down below. Let's get into it. So, infrastructure. There are computing services that are needed for project management. When you need an application, there's processing power, memory, storage, everything that's needed to help make it work. Depending on what application you use, it might have a multi-tier architecture. So this is where you will have web servers, which if this is a huge project, you probably want fault tolerance in there. So when I say web servers, I'm meaning more than one, so that if one goes down, it doesn't really affect it. It stays up and keeps going because there's another one there. So there's a load balancer in play. And then those web servers probably go to something like an application server, which does the bulk of the processing. And those application servers probably go to a database server, which has the data and gets the data to the application servers to do the processing. So a multi-tiered architecture tries to build things so that it can handle load as it scales up and down. It can handle failures, fault tolerant. And because it can handle failures, it helps some with security, because if something's down, we're always asking ourselves, is this an issue or a breach? Is it something that just happened because something went wrong, or did hackers gain access and cause problems? So it's good to have a multi-tiered architecture whenever possible, just so that you're doing good practices, and it helps remove some of that concern. Hey, yeah, a little hiccup happened, but it's not a big deal. We're still up and going. And okay. Network and connectivity. Obviously, if you have a system, you need the ability to use it. And that means you need communication between the devices and the application. And you also need to decide, is this something that's going to have access even from when you're not at the workplace? And is that access going to be public or behind something like a VPN? So is it going to be to the local area network or to the wide area network? Or to the World Wide Web. So you do need to consider things like bandwidth for some things. You might not let people download large documents if they're offsite, but maybe your project management stuff is in the cloud, and it doesn't matter where you're at. No matter what, you're going to be using a decent bandwidth out to the web. So storage, you're going to need a place to store stuff. This might be something that's directly connected to a computer. It might be network attached storage. It could be a storage area network. It could be cloud storage. Data warehouses are a place to store lots of data from multiple sources. It combines various systems so that you can do a more in-depth analysis on the data. Documentation. So you need documentation. This will be documentation on the systems that you use, the architecture. Is it multi-tiered? The networking. What's the documentation on how you access your applications? The documentation on where it's stored. So the documentation on your data warehouse. Where is it getting its data from? How up to date is it? Those are all important things to have thoroughly documented. You might use cloud platforms, cloud modules. Now, there are different models of cloud. So you have platform as a service. In fact, I would shift this a little bit. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we found the pizza as a service. So Paul Carrison has allowed me to share a larger version of this model in video, so I'll link to this all down below. But this is really great. It talks about the different options. So legacy, infrastructure as a service, containers, platform, functions, software. Some of these, project management kind of rolls into X as a service, everything as a service, which would even be maybe we need version 3 now. But there's, depending on what you do, different things are taken care of by the vendor versus you. So coming back to that, so just realize that when it comes to cloud models, we're talking about how much you're having to manage versus how much someone else is managing. And infrastructure is the one that you manage more, and then platform, and then software as a service, and then X as a service is just really anything as a service. I think that functions as a service and some other things should be in here, but that's okay. Okay, let's jump back into software. So ERP are large applications that have they function as a system to streamline processes across multiple domains. So the main ERP system I've worked with is PeopleSoft, which then I've also worked with Workday, SAP, Oracle. So these are all really big systems, multi-tiered, going back to that earlier thing that we talked about. Customer relationship management is a system to manage the customer interactions with people, usually customer relationship. I've seen people use it in different ways. It's kind of cool. Databases. So this is where data is stored. It's also something that you should really protect. Hackers really want access to it. So make sure that you've protected it properly. This is where data is, in traditional databases, it's organized into tables with predefined relationships. That would be like Oracle, MySQL, Postgre, or some examples. Then you have NoSQL databases, which is for unstructured data. So that would be like DynamoDB, Cassandra, Mongo. So there's different options there. So an electronic document and record management system, EDRMS. You're going to have to remember some of these. They're systems designed to manage the creation and use storage of documents. So just specific systems. Content management system also facilitates the management of content of documents, but it's content. It's for websites. So it's specific to help create content easily. So I think kind of like a wiki. Content management systems, kind of like a wiki. Financial systems. Financial systems are software solutions that help with managing the organization's financial things like general ledgers, balance sheets, account payable, receivables, things like that. So making sure that we keep things accurate and can report them properly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good day.